Hi friends, 2 videos in one day, can you believe it? And this is the reason why. I've had a lot of great feedback. We've had several new patients begin the plan this year. So January has been a huge month. And here's some of the common threads that I seem to be getting more and more of, and it's with understanding food in its basic form, okay? Think about this. I wanted to give you this visual, and hopefully it will encourage you and spur you on to be more and more committed, because we all know that where our head goes, all else follows, right? If we decide something, well, by golly, we get it done. And that's my makeup. That's my DNA. And my thinking is, years ago, I learned this principle about food. Here's the deal. When God created food for us, He designed it to be whole. In our efforts to have greater shelf life, less spoilage, so that equates to what? Less dollars wasted. We've kind of sacrificed the quality of what is inherently in whole food, the elements that we know and we've discovered, and the undiscovered elements yet. Because there's got to be things in the food that we don't know about yet. We're not all that. We think, some of our scientists think we are, but we're really not. Think about it. We can fly to the moon, we can fly to outer space, we can send a unmanned rocket to Mars to land there, but we can't fix diabetes. Something's not adding up there, okay? Here's the deal. God made food, we ingest it, we start digesting it right here in our mouths. We make enzymes in the glands in our cheeks and in our throat. So here's what happens to food. Every single thing you eat, the body breaks down into tiny particles. And those tiny particles are put back together into living tissue. With that knowledge, have this understanding. Ready? You can either be made up of fresh, lean meats, vegetables, fruits, healthy essential fats, or ho-hos, biscuits and gravy, Big Macs, fried pies. Are you getting my drift? Anything that comes out of a package, a box, anything that comes from a fast food restaurant, anything's been deep fried. Talk about cooking the life out of something, right? Watch that video, Supersize Me. He couldn't even make it to 30 days he wanted to. His organ systems were starting to shut down. We are designed to eat whole foods. It's that simple, okay? The food industry doesn't make it any easier on us. They put additives in our food, not only to preserve shelf life, but to extract certain nutrients out so that the shelf life is extended. Our body has to deal with those stressors. The body is less stressed when we eat fresh, spoilable whole foods. Have you ever eaten a meal? They used to call the McDonald's the McBrick, right? You eat a Big Mac, you get the McBrick a little while later. That's a stressor to your body. That food is so heavily processed and laden with chemicals. Your body says, whoa, I'm having a tough time dealing with this, right? You get the bloat, you get the heavy feeling in your stomach, you just don't feel good. You just lose your energy. Your energy is tanks on you. That is a greater stressor to your body than something that doesn't have that food additive taste quality, or the sugar has not been added into it. That's the benefit we're looking at here. If you will eat as clean as possible, and I used to say to patients, this has been over 20 years ago, eat as close to how God made the food as possible. That's what I said. Kind of like the old adage, everything you need to know in life you learn in kindergarten. This common sense kind of things, right? But that still has an inherent challenge in it, because we've been so drawn away from that mindset. Years ago when this country was being formed, it was all about an agrarian society. We grew a lot of our own food. Supermarkets didn't have that. You had hardware stores and things like that, but you didn't have the supermarket. You used to go to a farmer's market. You used to share food with friends. Maybe you grew something, they grew another, you canned, and you swapped out. That's how food was originally. But we have, in an effort to industrialize, commercialize our food, to extend shelf life, but in the process we have devitalized that food. The nutrient content is greatly diminished, and we are paying heavy prices for it. I just had a patient come in right before lunch, and she was telling me about her daughter and how she was having she's in her 20s, and she was already having heart issues. This was predicted by Dr. Francis Pottinger, medical doctor. That's MD. MD stands for medical doctor. I just want to make that perfectly clear so there's no confusion. Francis Pottinger was a medical doctor. He studied cats. He studied the relationship of raw food that a cat is designed to eat versus cooked food. And he followed those cats through generation after generation after generation of reproduction. And what did he find? Let me summarize this real quick. The cats that ate the food they were supposed to by design, they stayed healthier longer, lived longer, had fewer disease processes pop up and develop. But the cats who ate cooked food, processed food, their generations that continued to succeed, they had disease processes pop up at earlier and earlier ages. They became more severe and more severe. Great read. The point is, and the drive home message is for all of this, is if you will just think about what you take in, everything that passes your lips in terms of food, beverage, anything that has shelf life or has been processed or refined, that will eventually equate in 1 to 3 days how you feel, how you function, and your overall state of your health. Mark my words. That's not my opinion. That's a statement. It may sound like this on this video, but test it yourself. Feel free. Okay, so I hope that encourages you in terms of why you're doing this, why the manual is structured like it is, because the answers are in the food. All right, supplements are named supplement for a reason. They're supplementary to food. Even as depleted as our commercial food supplies are, it's still better than something canned or packaged or what have you. You get the drift. So I greatly look forward to when springtime comes in East Tennessee and we have farmers markets that come back open, the Delano Community Market. I know there's one in Chattanooga. So I would implore you to, in your community, I know several of you are driving great distances. We've got patients driving up from Louisiana. I've got patients that come in from Huntsville. I've got patients that come in from Lenore City. We've got patients that come from Western North Carolina, Northwest Georgia, all over the place. Many, of course, right here in Tennessee. But seek out your farmers market. Seek out, and we've got a terrific one in Delano community with a lot of the Amish folks who grow and profit from it. Of course, they deserve to. It's great produce, okay? So seek out those whole food options, and you will significantly benefit from them. Stay to the plan. Stick to that plan. If you have any trouble with plateauing or constipation, go to your manual first. Go to that purple section first. Then follow up with a question with us. We'd be glad to answer it if it's not answerable or already previously had been answered in that purple section, okay? So we're getting a lot of great feedback. I encourage that. I think you're going to hear more from me as time goes on, the weeks go on, especially in this weight loss prime time season. January tends to be people who have tried things in the past and they're like, you know what, hands up, help me out here. February seems to be the time when the do-it-yourselfers that were in January are just they're experiencing some type of failure and they want assistance, they want help. So I know this is prime time. People want to feel better, look better, be lighter, have more energy and a better quality of life as spring approaches, okay? So we're here to help. Appreciate you all. Stay the course. We're in your corner. We can't work harder than you, but if you work hard, I promise you one thing, Tanya and I'll be working just as hard as you will on this, okay? So stay tuned. I'll stay in touch with little tidbits I give, but keep in mind that visual of the broken down pieces of food. Look at your plate. Take it in visually next time you load it up, and you'll see what I mean in 1 to 3 days. God bless. Take care. Talk to you soon.